We went out for 2 years. I found out they were married in Australia. He was an Australian.
No.
They were married.
Don't write off a whole nation on that basis. There are some good ones. Toadie from Neighbours, Olivia.
You're not telling me.
God, that's unbelievable. Brilliant. Thank you very much for sending those in. Now, Olivia, when you came over to sit on the sofa, obviously, we all kind of sat and went, we're all a little bit starstruck. We're all a bit starstruck in the studio today because Olivia's in. Now, obviously, we've seen Grease. It's such an iconic film, and Sandra Olsen is a real, iconic character. Does it drive you mad when people do get starstruck all the time by you? Do you kind of want to write that off and go, right, that was then, we've moved on?
Well, it's an interesting thing. Grease is so loved, that movie is so loved, that how can I be anything but happy that I was a part of it? But when people get, I feel that they're scared of me or something. People get kind of like this, I'm okay, I'm not going to hurt you, I'm not going to bite, I'm just a person. But I just feel very lucky to have been part of that movie.
Do you keep in touch with anybody? Do you keep in touch with John?
I do, yes, a little bit, and Dee Dee. Oh. Yeah, I love Dee Dee.
I met Dee Dee actually when we walked along the Great Wall of China. I loved her.
So you walked along the Great Wall of China together?
Yeah, and Dee Dee was on the walk too, and I was just like, oh my God, Sandy and Frenchie. Oh God!
We've actually got a still of you both.
Oh my God! Oh, goodness, see?
It was so much fun. You weren't very well though, were you, Olivia?
No, I was not. But that kitten was so amazing. I found that kitten. Did you see the kitten in the picture? Can you see?
Olivia's holding it.
There's a little kitten
that's
tiny. And he was floating in a puddle of water. We went by, and this guy next to me said, "There's something in that water," and scooped him out. And his eyes were still closed, and I didn't even think he was going to survive. But we were there, and
you had him in a pouch.
I carried him with me the whole time, and he was like our little mascot. Oh. And then I left, and the poor little thing didn't make it. It was so sad.
It needed Olivia's warm bosom.
It's true. I love that little kitten.
Oh, so fantastic! Sweet. Now you've appeared in Glee, haven't you? You filmed an episode of Glee.
I did.
That's awesome. It's so cool.
It was so much fun. We only did it like 3 weeks ago.
Oh really?
So how long will that be before? Are we keeping up with it in America?
I don't know. We're first series, aren't we, at the moment? Yeah. So you must have been shooting second series.
It's off the air in America. I think it starts again next month. So I think it was going to be on April, May.
Were you a huge Glee fan before you?
Not really. I mean, I really had been unaware of it, and then someone called and said they'd like to do an episode, so they sent me some CDs, and of course I loved it.
Are you hooked?
It was wonderful. Yeah.
Do you sing and dance?
Yes.
Do you?
That's so
Can you
cool.
tell us
It was
more
really
about
fun.
it?
I can tell you that we. I thought it was a secret, but apparently it's been out. So we redid Physical. And Jane Lynch and I. So it was a lot of fun, and she's just a lovely, delightful lady.
Oh,
we had so much fun.
Wait to see that. I cannot wait. Have you got any ambitions that you haven't fulfilled yet? I mean, you've had countless albums, an amazing film. Now you're doing all the great TV as well. Is there anything that you haven't fulfilled?
Oh, goodness. I think everything's icing on the cake, I feel so grateful for everything, and all these things keep happening. I always think I'm finished and it's all over, and then something else comes up. I go, wow, I haven't done that, and it's just fantastic.
But I think it's got a sort of, I don't know, like almost, I don't know whether the kitsch quality, but like Xanadu has just been redone by Charlene Soutaro, has it? What do you think of that?
I haven't heard it.
Oh,
yet,
it's awesome.
I hear it's great, but I've seen. Did you see the show? Did they have the show in London? They did a Broadway production of Xanadu. And I went to the opening night, and I was on the floor laughing. This girl, she did my accent, she did my knock-knee, she did the whole thing. It was so funny. It's such an hysterical show.
Oh, we'll try and get you a copy of it, because Charlene was on the show on Friday, and she was promoting her album, and so we've got a copy of it knocking around somewhere.
I'd love to hear that.
And then we'll get your point of view on it. See what you reckon. Right, it's time for our next discussion now, and Olivia's going to join in with this one, aren't you?
Okay, sure.
Now, in the papers today, it has been reported that it costs a massive £250,000 a year to give Princess Eugenie round-the-clock protection. Her sister Beatrice also has 24-hour security, but with the girls regularly packed partying, are they living like royals or celebrities, and do they deserve these safety measures? Well, I can't help thinking, because Because they've gone... Eugenie's up at Newcastle University. She's living with the people. You know, for years and years, it feels like people have said the royals should live with the rest of us. They should know what's really going on in life. And I really like the idea that they've gone to a normal university. So if it means that they have to be looked after 24 hours a day so that they can sample real life, then I don't think it's a bad thing at all. What do we think?
I don't know. I think if the public are paying for it, presumably.
Yeah.
So that's £250,000 per year.
It is.
That seems preposterous, I think. I think the upper echelons of royalty, perhaps that's kind of justified. But for them, I mean, aren't they just sort of glorified it girls with a tiara and stuff?
I mean, fifth and sixth in line for the throne, so they're not kind of way down at all.
But they are. They're hanging out with your peaches and your pixies and
Yeah.
what have you. And it just seems that, Zara Phillips, for instance, I think isn't it right that she doesn't have any protection at all?
She doesn't have any protection.
She just leads her life with Mike Tyndall, completely under the radar. Doesn't need £250,000 of our hard-earned cash to look after her every year. So. Why is it a different rule for Zara?
The technical
not
rule is
the girls?
that her father is a commoner. That's the
Oh, is that
technical.
that's the technical
really?
that she gets on?
Yeah.
Okay.
A commoner, as if that phrase is still okay.
These girls didn't ask to be born to be royals. These girls were born... They want to live a normal life. Why shouldn't
Do
they
they
be
want to
allowed
live a normal life? I mean, I wish
Well, they've
that
gone
they
to
were the
Newcastle
ones...
University. I'm sure if they'd have really
Yeah,
wanted
but they're not
to,
living
they could
a
have gone to
normal
Oxford.
life either. They're living an it girl's life, aren't they, still? I mean, also, why shouldn't they be paying for their own security if they need 24-hour protection?
Why
and
are
that
we
is as a
paying
result
for
of
it?
them being in the public eye, which they do choose to be to a certain degree.
Because that's what happens when you're a royal. You get paid for by the taxpayer. It actually works out. We spend £41 million a year on our royals.
Well, that's very reasonable.
Altogether, 69 pence per person. So actually,
69p
How
per
much
person.
do you make tourism? And
Exactly.
everything? I mean,
Yeah.
I drove past Buckingham Palace this morning and it was packed
Yeah.
with people, and so it's a huge revenue for the country. I can't imagine they'd have bodyguards unless it was necessary. It's annoying. I was
I
wondering,
think-
could I ask for this? Maybe I could get a free
I
bodyguard.
would prefer
over
my
this.
taxpaying money was coming and guarding you rather than Princess Eugenie. And I sort of feel that she's not giving her social engagements. The royal, and I think someone please challenge me on this, that gives the most social engagements is Princess Anne. And as you say, her daughter Tara is out there. She's going to be the Olympic team. When it comes to a royal who's giving us buck for their worth, it's those guys.
Having said that, I think the girls are quite, because of their celebrity/it status, they are probably more of a target than Zara would be to terrorists.
I was going to say we don't really know the reasons they have bodyguards. Maybe something has happened and there's a reason for them to have it.
What's the perception of our of the British royal family from Australia, for example?
Well, we love them. You know, we had them on our walls and everything. The Queen, you know, I remember everyone had the Queen on their wall when I was growing up. And I think she's still very loved out there. I think the royal family has a celebrity status. You know, in America, the celebrities are the royal family. And in England, you have a royal family. In Australia, we've adopted it because we're part of the Commonwealth, aren't we?
Do you, and are you aware of Beatrice and Eugenie? Do you kind of see them as real princesses, or because over here they are seen...
I'm not so familiar with them, but then I haven't been keeping up with the Daily Mail and all stuff. So I don't know. But I'm sure, I can't imagine they'd have bodyguards unless there was a reason.
Yeah.
Because it's annoying to be followed all the time, especially for young girls.
Presumably it's justified. They must need bodyguards, but my argument is that even if they do bring money in for tourism, without them, we'd still be getting the tourism from the actual royals. They kind of, I know they are royals,
The
but
actual royal.
you know what I mean? Like
It's family. It's
Family's family, right?
I
So
think,
who
I
do you
think
think's
they should
worth
be
it?
paying for it.
Who do you think should be allowed?
I think it should stop
for
at
24?
Harry. You should have the Queen,
Really?
Charles, Wills, Harry, and then...
Well, what about Andrew?
I just
What
think
about
250
Philip?
grand a year is a lot of money to be coming out of the public purse.
The thing is, though, with
And they are
Beatrice
very
and
rich
Eugenie is that
as
they
is.
managed to keep the profile up and kind of keep the royals cool. I think when the royals have pulled back and lived in their castle, looking down and going hunting on weekends, people have really come down on them quite hard, going, you've no idea, you don't know what us people are doing. Whereas the girls get right in there.
They're dragging it into the 21st century, the royalty, aren't they? Which I think, and William and Harry have done lots of brilliant things for that too. It's not quite as staid as it was.
They are the kind of
which is good.
accessible arm of the royal family, I
Yeah.
guess, in that respect.
They're the
But at
ones
the
that
same
are in
time,
the
it's not giving
OK
it a particularly-
magazines, they're in the Hello magazines, they're the ones that go to the opening of this, and they keep the royals slightly cool.
But seeing them staggering around in a nightclub isn't my idea of kind of being on the same wavelength as royalty. Do you know what I mean? If we're going to be using the argument of tourism as well, I think there are so many other things that bring tourists into the country.
You can't deny them their not their childhood, but their younger
heritage.
years. So yeah,
Oh, no,
you know,
yeah.
you can't deny them. You know, it's a rite of passage, and that's about the 4th time I've used that on this show. It really is. It's for them to, you know, to go to a nightclub in Newcastle and fall over.
Yeah, no, you're right.